Hi guys, and welcome to Jaa Moto, and today's video is part 2 of riding a Honda CRF300L around Buriram. So hope you enjoy it. If you've missed part 1, I'll put a link in the description so you can kind of see that and then follow on with this, and there'll also be a part 3 to this video, so hope you enjoy. Okay, so we're setting off from the top of Khao Kradong, heading back down to the lower areas of the forest, and then we're going to pick some nice little trails up through the forest. There's trails going all over the place. This is just one of many. I plan to try and map out more and maybe put some markers so if other people choose to use them, then hopefully they'll find their way around easier. I must be honest, I've found myself lost in the forest a few times, but eventually found my way out back onto the highway. So we're just dropping down now. To the right is the volcano. There's a footbridge that goes over there. Quite a popular tourist destination for people when they're visiting Buriram, and quite often they have festivals up here, so you do get crowds of people at certain times of the year. The park generally is very well kept, no issues with litter. Another plus point really is the fact that it's free entry. Many tourist attractions you do have to pay, and in many cases foreigners will pay a premium over Thai nationals. But that's just the way it is here, unfortunately. You can, if you're an expat living here and you have a Thai driving license or ID, then sometimes they'll charge you the local rate. That's not always the case. So just something to bear in mind. But as I say, it's free to come into this park, and well worth a visit. The views from the top are exceptional. It gives you a good outlook over the whole of Buriram and the rest of the province. So the first part of this ride is through just a concrete road. I'm going to turn off left now and head to where I found the best trails through the woods. You'll see to the left there's one going off there, and every now and again you'll just see a little trail. And I'm going to try more of these as time goes by, and as I say, try and map them out for use in the future. So we're coming up to one trail that I've been down quite a few times, but I'm probably going to try somewhere different today. So pretty quiet road. You very rarely see any traffic here. It's only really, well, you'd get two cars. Yeah, this is a trail I normally go down, but I'm going to try somewhere different today. So we'll carry on up. Yeah, just kind of nosing to see where trails go. Sometimes you can jump on a trail and it goes nowhere. Other times you find some great riding. It's not particularly testing. It's pretty flat, but you are weaving in and out between trees and rocks and so on. So yeah, let's get onto this trail now. We've had some rain recently, so there's some water and mud about, but I'm currently running the stock tyres, and they handle surfaces like this pretty okay. But if you get into real wet, muddy situations, then they're not particularly great. But you see here, gone through some muddy sections, and seems to cope with it. Okay, I'm not going particularly fast, but just enjoying the trails really. It's just nice to get out into the countryside, and just take on what Thailand's got to offer. As you can see, I'm not going that fast, so generally in second, maybe third gear occasionally. because these are very narrow trails, and it's not an official off-roading track, so I don't want to be ripping everything up and annoying the locals. So yeah, getting a reasonable speed now, but yeah, got to keep the speed down. Some big rocks here. I'm not wearing protective gear today, so no boots. I'm just wearing trainers, so I don't want to be pushing it too much anyway. So you kind of get spoilt for choice here of which way to go. So I'm pretty much going straight ahead where possible and just enjoying it. There's a little markers here and there. I don't know whether you noticed them, like there's an arrow there, so that may be another trail we can try out next time. Some crosses, which I'm assuming means no entry. It's difficult to say. So we'll just carry on through the forest. It's a nice sunny day, but you're protected from the sun because of the trees. And yeah, it's just good fun. Nice to be out on the bike, enjoying it. So again, I'm at a crossroads here. Gonna go straight across, but options to go left or right, so we can try them out another time. So continuing on, it's just, as I say, good fun to be out on the bike. Once we've left the forest, then we're going to head up over to the lakes, and I'll show you some footage of the lakes in part 3 of this series. So this is part 2. Part 1 was all on road, riding from the elephant roundabout up to Khao Kradong, and then this part 2 is, majority of it is riding trails through the forest, and then part 3 will be riding tracks around the big lakes, which are just probably 10 kilometres out of Buriram, but there's lots of nice tracks and trails, some of which I've not explored yet, so over time I'll pick the best trails and do some videos on them, and I'll be posting route maps and locations, so if people are ever in the Buriram area and want to try the trails out, then they can freely use what I'm going to post. Yeah, so it's getting a bit tight in here now. It is very much single track. Occasionally you come to a dead end and have to turn round, but up to now I'm managing to get through. Okay, we're not going fast. First gear, pretty slow, 10-11 kilometres an hour. Quite rocky through here, lots of trees, and it's pretty tight. But yeah, enjoying it. So it's a case of really figuring out the easiest way to get through. But the Honda CRF300L copes with this kind of terrain easily. You're not testing it out to its limits by any means. I know many people criticise the CRF for having soft suspension. I've tightened up my rear shock, so the preload is it's not maximum, it's kind of halfway, and I find it okay even on rougher terrain, but on stuff like this it's absolutely fine. You know, we're not going fast, just taking in the trails really. Yeah, it's just something I enjoy doing. I'm not as young as I used to be. 25 years ago I used to do a lot of off-roading, and enduro racing, and really pushing the bikes to the limit, but yeah, those days are over. I'd still like to give it a blast now and again, but yeah, at my age, 59, the body's not what it used to be. But it's just good fun to be out on the bike, and I prefer being off-road than on-road, especially in Thailand. The road bikes, I find there's lots of potholes in the roads, unexpected obstacles such as buffalo, cows, cars and motorbikes riding the wrong way on the roads. So you have to be very careful. Off-roading, it's normally very quiet here. Scooter there, they're probably out picking mushrooms. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this trail. Loads more to go at. So I'm going to hit the highway now and head up to the lakes, and then we'll start the part 3 of this video selection. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Gives you an idea of some of the things to go at in Buriram. Okay, it's not extreme, but it's just something new to see. Hoping not to take my head off under the barbed wire. That's it. Okay, hope you've enjoyed, and look out for part 3. That should be with us soon.